I'm going to be straight up with what I'm going to talk about. So please, if you just joined, Reverend Henrietta Norte, bless you so much, woman of God, for joining us. People of God, yesterday, for those of you on social media, I think by now you are aware that something is going on. Okay. Oh, Kwabena Afriye. Very good. Kwabena Afriye says he knows me in Orlando. So, Kwabena Afriye, it will be great for him to be here. He's seen me before. He knows me. Now, I know some of you are aware of what is going on social media from yesterday relating to a prophet who shot his wife dead yesterday in Orlando, Florida. Yesterday in Orlando, Florida. And why am I here? Because I've seen a couple of posts out there that when they send in pictures and everything, I've seen my pictures involved. And so people are calling me, people are sending me messages. Oh, Apostle, do you know this guy? Yes, I know him. I've preached twice for him, this same prophet. Now listen carefully. And this is what I'm telling especially young ministers of today. People who are growing in the faith and have not built a spine of steel, who go about thinking that, quote and unquote, getting popular people to come and preach for them makes them men of God. Men who love you because of the money you give them. Men who just mount your pulpit because they need money from you, but do not care about you beyond the pulpit. That you young guys out there who are so desperate for recognition, we want to identify with certain people, quote and unquote, gurus of the faith, who are called prophets, bishops, generals. You want to desperately identify with them. But when the price of life comes to be paid, I want to assure you, none of these people, these greedy animals at best, none of them will show up in the day of crisis. Now, I think about a year and a half ago, I met or encountered Prophet Sylvester Ofori on Facebook. Sent me a message after he watched some of my videos. And when he saw my video on Facebook, I remember vividly, it was a video where I was seriously speaking against Abraham Ben Moshe, who was talking about the Bible, insulting Jesus Christ. And listen, I was so angry. I believe I blasted him to the best of my knowledge. Where some Facebook bloggers in London, some ladies who really don't know what they are doing with their lives, came up to speak, and they also got their share. That's how he encountered me. And then he contacted me and said, man, how is it that you're so passionate about your faith? And I let him know, you know what? I believe in this Bible. I believe that the word of God is inerrant. I believe the word of God is what it says it is. And we became Facebook friends. And when I went to the US, he invited me to preach for him. I preached twice for him, 5 days in a row. Now, one of the things I realized was, in as much as he wanted to do the things of God, he was almost alone. I told him that, man of God, I am not one of the people who preach for money. 1. 2, I am not coming to preach for you if I don't have any relationship with you. I want to build a relationship of accountability where we can hold each other accountable for the job we are doing. But this Christian work, if you don't have anybody to stand with which you can talk and be open about, there are things you will leave on yourself. It will kill you. So I told him, listen, if it's not about relationship, I can't preach for you. I want to know you beyond the pulpit. I'm not a commercial preacher who preaches because of money. So if it is about just inviting me to preach for you, I can't do that job. We started talking, but friendship and relationships takes time to build. And I remember vividly the Easter, a week to the Easter of 2019, I was in the US to preach for one of the senior ministers' friends I have in North Carolina. And he asked me to do a week program. So I was in Orlando yet for another week. But when I went to Orlando, I saw, and I'm a very curious person. If I'm relating to you, I want to know. I want to find out, what is your psychology? What do you believe in? So I saw a lot of books, different books that I will not recommend for a young Christian to read. I will not recommend for somebody who is not robust about his faith to read. So I told him, as a preacher colleague, I told you that, Osofo, there are certain books, if you are not convicted to a certain degree in your faith, you don't touch them, because words are just more than just print. Words carry spirit. And if you don't take time, some of these books will get you derailed. Not long after I left, I saw Prophet Sylvester in a picture with Bishop Carlton Pearson. For those of you who don't know Bishop Carlton Pearson, Bishop Carlton Pearson used to be one of the very dynamic, charismatic preachers in the United States. In fact, he was the spearheaded man of the Azusa Conference, which was going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was on the platform of Bishop Carlton Pearson that men like Dr. Miles Monroe became well-known preachers. It was on the platform of Bishop Carlton Pearson that Bishop T.D. Jakes became T.D. Jakes. Along the line, Bishop Carlton Pearson started to teach a new doctrine called the doctrine of all inclusion. That it was starting to now say that there's no heaven, there's no hell, that the Bible is not the authentic word of God, that we are supposed to worship nature, honor nature. It was a whole lot of, it is a heavy duty thing from a man like Bishop Carlton Pearson, who is a very intelligent, eloquent preacher. He was the best of the charismatic movement. I'm telling you, for those of you who don't know anything about the church, Bishop Carlton Pearson was one of the finest, eloquent, intelligent preachers. He was fluent the English language. The man knows the language back and forth. And he's a skillful master player of the game. Through him, men like T.D. Jakes came into the limelight. Bishop Jakes was nothing. Nobody knew him until Carlton Pearson played 7 minutes of T.D. Jakes' video on his TV program on TBN. That is why he blew out. It was Bishop Carlton Pearson. It was Carlton Pearson who played 7 minutes of Jakes preaching that made Jakes becomes the Jakes of today. Carlton Pearson is no ordinary preacher. Here is this intelligent man who understands Oriental languages, understands English back and forth, Latin. This guy is smart and he's still alive. And Bishop Carlton Pearson is now spearheading a movement and a doctrine called the doctrine of all inclusion, which is very addictive, dangerous, persuasive, and says The Bible is not what it says it is. The presentation of the gospel is being twisted. A good God cannot take people to heaven. Nature, we worship it. It's more like Scientology. It's more like worshiping nature, not Jesus. And even Jesus, he attributes that he's not the person, he's the spirit, it's an idea. I saw this preacher friend of mine. And let me make this point straight. For those of you out there who are quick to distance yourself from a man because he did something bad or found himself in a trouble, you benefited, you loved him when he was benefiting you. And the moment something evil happened, you turn a 360 turn around, and then you begin to speak all your foolish things. Be very careful what you say about a man and a story when you don't even know the full story. Because one of these days, we shall see what will become of you when you are trapped. So, I saw Prophet Sylvester in a picture with Bishop Carlton Pearson. My heart melted. I got scared. I said, because see, when I get around a man, I can tell by encountering and having conversation with you, I can tell the level of your intimacy, I can tell the level of your cognitive power, I can tell, you might even want to sound smart, but I can tell based on weighing you, your power to resist certain things. When I saw him with Bishop Carlton Pearson, I got worried. Then somebody sent me a video, a Facebook link that, Apostle, go and watch. Your friend is teaching some things in his church. He's brought somebody to talk about some things. And because they've seen me preach there and they know what I stand for, I want to watch the video. And they were teaching about all these things Carlton Pearson has been teaching. So I knew there was an influence to a certain level. So that night, I started to send him messages. That, prophet, what are you doing? Why are you destroying your own church? The same thing that you call yourself a prophet in, now you are destroying it. But watch this. I will not vouch and say something for Sylvester, but I'm going to tell you some things that have happened. And especially you young ministers, if you're a young minister on my platform here, I want you to know, don't think your association with certain names will guarantee that you make it in this ministry. Because one of these days, this same association will be the curse that will destroy your life. I'm telling you, Mark, I've been in this game. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I have decided if it is not Jesus, all of them, and I mean all of them, can go to hell for all I care. Because these are vampires and wicked human beings who are only leeches, who are sucking the blood of people who are vulnerable, who really need love and attention. I saw names, and I can mention names, that went to preach for Sylvester, that today they will all bow out like they don't know him. They went there and took money from that church. Some of them went there to cause a mess. The things he told me when I went to preach for him. When I preach for this guy, you can go watch the videos. I'm not deleting any of them. I preach for Sylvester. I don't apologize. I don't regret it. I had a beautiful relationship with his wife, and I'm going to tell you the last conversations I had with that lady, and God is my witness. When they told me, my heart, based on what I said to the lady, my heart melted. Listen, there were preachers from bishops and whatever, prophet, mega prophet, whatever you call them, who had gone there to do their magic and their foolishness. And I call a spade a spade. Because some of them will go into their hotel and be calling the church members. And this guy saw all these things. And at a point, I strongly believe he snapped out of his belief in the Bible based on the encounters he had with some of these junkies in the church. Went there, did all foolish things called ministry. just because of greed for money, greed for recognition, greed for foolishness. So the guy was telling so many things. He told him, Apostle, you are very different. You are very different with all these things you know, yet you still so low. I said, listen, I'm not doing this for show. My purpose for preaching is to build people and put their trust in God. I didn't come here for your money. How much can you give me? So I had conversations with him. So when he started to follow Captain Pearson, man, I sent him long messages, condemned that video, and told the man of God, if you are saying these things, that there's error in the Bible, there's no heaven, there's no hell, then you need to take the title of prophet from you. You are not a prophet, you have to take it. I went a step further, and I called his senior brother in America. I can mention his name. His senior brother is also a prophet. I called his senior brother and told him, sir, you may not know me in person, but you've seen me preach for your brother. Okay. Onalia, a free essay sort. I don't even remember that kind of video, but I went to preach as a man of God. I didn't go, I don't know Sylvester from Adam. He saw me on Facebook and contacted me. And it is my job, it is my life. I preach the truth to everybody. Your money don't scare me. Your money don't change my message. I am a man of God, not a man of the pulpit. That's why I hate preachers who goes to churches just because they want to make money. Shame on these animals who call themselves men and women of God. Stupid people who are called preachers, who goes into people's church with their bad spirits, their occultic connections to destroy young, innocent people. And see, there are people in the church who knew me. The only time Prophet Sylvester sees me is when they have picked me from my hotel to come and preach. And when I finish preaching, there's a protocol team that drives me back to the hotel. Finish. So I was trying to get intimate, to know him beyond the pulpit. I am not going to stay like I don't know Sylvester. I preached for him twice, 10 days in total. Poured my heart out because that is what I was born to do. I'm not preaching because of money. I am not hungry. But there were prophets, bishops who had gone ahead of me to that church, made a total mess. Shameless animals, calling people into their toilet. Okay, Kofi Friday said he was my driver. He drove me. I remember. Oh, Kofi, you are the one with the locks. I'm telling you, I love this family, beautiful church. But vampires who do not invest in people's lives, but only go to take from where they have not sown, mess things up. And I deduced that from our conversations. So when those teachings were going on, me, I'm a concerned friend and a brother. So I started calling him. For the last 6 months, I've been calling Prophet Sylvester to get him on the line. He won't pick my call. I was calling church leaders. I called Mama Verna. I called Sister Anne Marie. She never picked my call. It's only Mama Verna I speak to. So the last time I spoke to Barbara, may her soul rest in perfect peace. The last time I spoke to Barbara was the 22nd of August. We spoke for about 2 hours on the phone. That was when I realized that they were not even together. And I was speaking to Barbara, and these are the things I said. God, my heart was broken. My heart. And I said to Barbara, you know what? My fear now, these are the very words I said to Barbara. Barbara, my fear now is not about you. God save his church and his people. I told Barbara, I sense there's a serious problem with Sylvester. But he doesn't talk to anybody, so nobody can help him. He doesn't talk to anybody. But my fear now is, now that you are not there, the problem is going to escalate. And I am afraid one day you will call me and tell me, Apostle, Sylvester has done something terrible. And I told the lady, my prayers are with you. But I pray that Prophet Sylvester will not do something terrible, because he is in a dark place now. He needs help. And I'm trying to call him. I don't know how I will reach him. I am not coming to the States now. Borders are closed. But I've been calling him for the last 6 months. Sending him messages. Kofi is here. Kofi Friday used to drive me when I go there. And I've been calling him for the last 6 months. He never picks my call. So I'll send message to Mama Vena. I said, Mama Vena, when you see Prophet, tell him I have been calling him. I want to speak to him. It was pressing on me, and I was calling him on a daily basis, sending him messages, hoping he will pick one of my calls. He never did. Never picked my call. So when I spoke to the First Lady Barbara, and she told me they are no more together, I said, I can't persuade you to go back, but I fear that something worse is about to happen. Little did I know that what I was saying was a prophetic word. I just knew the guy was going to do something, but not to his wife. I thought he was going to hurt himself. Then I got the call yesterday. The Barbara was shot dead. See, a life is lost, but the hypocrisy of this generation is what bothers me. The stupid statement that some who have gone there and took money from this man. Where were you when he was in his dark place? How hard did you try to help him like you took his money? And I'm speaking to you young ministers out there. I'm speaking to you young ministers out. Who you think when you associate yourself with these so-called big men, you will make it? You are having a pipe dream. All these men who said they are deep prophets, they can see from the sun to the sky, did not see that this guy was in a deep hole, but they could see and go and take money from innocent church members. They can go to that church and take money from innocent church members, abuse their office, manipulate the system. Shameless people who call themselves senior men of God. Senior men of God, my foot. Senior men of God, my foot. Prophet. Prophet of what? What can you see? Nonsense. Brainless criminals. You call yourself prophet of who? Now, the same guy you took his money, you could not stand for him. A life is lost, and God will ask all of us, foolish people. And let any one of you try to mess. When Sylvester started teaching all those things, those Captain piercing messages, I intentionally sent messages to the preachers I know have preached for him. I sent them messages that how many of you have tried to contact Sylvester? Foolish people. May you rot in your greed. May you die in your greed. Foolish people. Somebody's daughter is dead, and the money you took will rot with you. Nonsense people, you call yourself preachers. Devils in human flesh, you call yourself preachers. Now that Sylvester, from his dark place, has done the unthinkable, you turn your back on him. I say you've never taken any penny from that guy. You went to his church, took money from his church members, manipulated some to see you in hotels. Foolish people, I say. Foolish people. All you know is money. May you rot with your money in your graves. Now, as somebody's daughter is dead, another family has lost a son who might never come out of jail. He's only 35 years. He is a young minister who has never seen the real battles of faith. Yeah. This is what I learned long ago. That's why, Nana Adjei, I'm still here. Never to make any of these ignoramus Mongols as me, my role model. You are crazy. These immoral preachers out there who don't have any sense of morality. All they think about is money and greed and manipulation. They are like gangsters with King James Bible. I sent him numerous messages. I said, Sylvester, there used to be a time you prophesied in the name of God. There used to be a time you cast out demons in the name of God. Where you are drifting now is dark. You are drifting is dark. I'm older than you in years. I've been in ministry longer than I can see that there's darkness coming. There's darkness coming. He won't pick my call. He will respond to my messages. Spoke 22nd of last month. I spoke to Barbara yesterday. She was killed. Yesterday, she was killed. You are there, preachers. You call yourself preachers. The mess most of you went to cause in that church. The abuses you went there to abuse people. Your fake directions and your criminal minds. Now you see a soul is lost and heaven is watching. Heaven is watching. Heaven is watching. Heaven is watching. Yesterday, my heart, I've sat down with Barbara. I've sat down with Barbara. I spoke on the 22nd with Barbara, and I was encouraging her. That woman of God, I'll pray with you. That's all I can do. I can't do much. But I saw the darkness coming. And I said, I pray that this guy won't do something terrible. I pray that because he will not pick my call. He will not pick my call. I'm calling Sister Vena. I said, Sister Vena, if you ever see him, please tell him I'm calling him. I need to speak to him. I need to speak to him. It doesn't have to take too long before it gets too late. I need to speak to him. Yesterday when I heard the news, I said, Nana, it's over. That's all you can do. And you know what got to me? You know what got to me? People started sending, when people want to send pictures of Sylvester and the wife, they add my picture to it. Programs that I did with him. To hell with all of you. To hell. Yes, I preach for him. If you are trying to do 100 of what I did in that church, we wouldn't have lost these lives. Nonsense. Nonsense. Today, people's faith are being destroyed because of men and women like you, animals with King James Bible, who have no morals, who are morally bankrupt, you go to preach in churches and you take advantage of young girls, people who are desperate and vulnerable. You go there and you make a mess, a mess. Coffee Friday is on the platform. He was driving, he was picking me from my hotel to the church services. And he said, Apostle, when he came there, your messages were related, but he became so stubborn. I saw the books he was reading. I saw the book. After 25 years in ministry, I know one or two things. After preaching the Bible for 25 years, I know one or two things. I can see. I'm not a prophet. I don't even want to be. Because these things they call prophet out there. They should be thrown into the lion's den for lions to eat them. They are of no use to humanity. They are a cancer to our generation. And lies. People, See, you just heard this was a gunshot. But there are people who are dying without a bullet because of these crazy things who call themselves ministers of the gospel. People are dying. I went there, I saw, the last time I went, I looked at the books and I told him, Prophet, there are certain books you don't want to have anything to do with them. I'm telling you from experience, you don't want to have anything. Concentrate on what God has called you to do. But you can only advise. You can't change anybody. You can only but advise. Go back and look for all the messages I preach. They are still on the internet. I'm not taking anything down. I did the job I had to do as a man of God. I am not hungry for filthy lucre. I am not preaching because I need money. But shame on us who call ourselves the clergy. I went there. I said, man of God, I've been in this game for a very long time. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. There are certain books you have no business touching. There's too much things in God that you going again to look for a man's opinion. Stick with God. Stick with God. Now if I'm lying, Coffee Fridays here, I preach for them 10 days, 2 different occasions, 5 days in a row. Onalia, that's what I'm saying. They didn't come because of the church. They didn't care about the church. They didn't care about the man. They didn't care. They cared about how much they can make. They saw how beautiful his church auditorium was. So it was an economic point. They came only to make money. They came to me. I'm saying this on social media. They can go and watch it. These are greedy animals who don't have the children of God at heart. They don't. They are greedy human beings who see ministry as a means to an end. They came there talking rubbish. They came there talking rubbish. I know. Look at what has happened. Now Barbara is dead. Sylvester is in custody. What did you achieve? All the money you took, what have you done with it? You're still seeking for money because that's what you're going to do. And for those of you out there writing everything on social media, you see, be very careful about a story you talk about you don't even know. All you know was a gunshot. So that's all you know. These are 2 lives that are lost. These are 2 lives that are lost. These are 2 lives that are lost. And people are acting like they never even knew Sylvester. Those who are having application hanging because they want to go and preach there. But I'm telling you, it can happen to you. Do you know how many people you have killed with your own words? See, so you these young boys out there who God is calling you, and you think that when you invite these big men to your church will grow. Most of them are devils. They step into your church. It is the genesis of your hell. I'm telling you, most of them are devils. You'll be doing all right until you invite them to your church. That's the beginning of your trouble. I'm telling you. Most of them don't represent God. They represent their belly, their greed, and their evil intent in their heart. These evil men, they don't care about the souls. They see young men trying to do well, and then they find a way to enter, and they destroy with their evil spirit, calling themselves men of God. Men of what? Men of what? Men of what? Which God are you talking about? Your blood-sucking God, your vampires of a God, You can always see, but we don't see what your seeing has done. Nonsense things are the things you see. So you didn't see all this thing coming. You didn't see all this thing coming. Now, 27-year-old girl is dead. You never saw this coming. And look at this guy. He's wasted his life. Built a beautiful ministry. All of a sudden, he got crazy. Lost everything. For 6 months, I've been trying to talk to this guy. I can't get him on the line. I don't know even how to get him. Called everybody I know. Sent messages. Sent message to Annie Marie. Sister Annie Marie won't pick my call, can't answer my message. The only one who answers my message is Sister Verna. Those who know the church knows what I'm talking about. We call this Christianity. And the ones who write the most nonsense are the so-called clergy. I pity most of you. I pity most of you because Christianity has become an occupation for you. May you rot with your greed. So next time, when you are sending the pictures, send mine as well. Add mine. I want you to add them. Don't take them out. If the 10 days, what I preached, if he listened, we won't be here talking about this. But you know what? What will be, will be. What has happened, has happened. The living can learn from this experience. I am telling you, stay away from these so-called men. You call them fathers. That word, I hate it with passion. Because these are not fathers. These are criminals, wicked human beings who don't fear God. There is no God in them. I'm telling you. All they have is the God of this world, who is a greedy God. That's all they have. A material God. A God who is an opportunistic. A God, a bastardly God at best. Not the God of the Bible. These are man-made gods being worshipped. And when you talk about them and their evil deeds, they say, I'll curse you. Curse your own children. Curse your own wife. Curse that evil life you live. Curse be on yourself. You can't curse nobody. Evil people. All you know is to destroy. You go to good places, and by the time you leave, that place becomes a place of hell. Because hell's winds blows around you. Devils. I have zero respect for them. Me, Nana Adjei, I'm telling you honestly. I have zero respect and tolerance for them. Fathers, my foot. Fathers, my foot. Evil men and women out there calling themselves spiritual leaders. Evil men and women. Evil, destroying innocent lives. You go into people's lives. You can't build them. You break. You leave your filthy scent behind. Listen. Listen. For some of us, we are not scared of your nonsense. Oh. You can't do us focal. Evil men and women. And I'll say this till I die. And if I die today, you will die tomorrow. Just be rest assured. But I cry for your children. Most of them useless men. Most of them are even very not intelligent. Criminals are. This thing gets to my nerves. I'm telling you, I'm sick of it. A young lady is dead. All the money you went to take in that church, you return the money. Shameless animals. Listen, I said this and I say it every day. I am not an occupational preacher. I am preaching this gospel of Jesus Christ till I die. I'm preaching this gospel. I see people are sending me messages today. People are sending me messages today. Apostle, see what has happened. What has happened? So what? So what? So what? What should I do? Can I bring Barbara back to life? Did I shoot her? Let Jimmy no. Obi to me to move for now. Go and tell those your fathers who went there and destroyed the church. It was a beautiful church until they went there. And they left their evil scent there. They should go and clean it up. God will hold them accountable. I'm telling you. Evil people. Evil people. Evil people calling themselves spiritual fathers. What spiritual fathers? Nonsense. Who made you a father of who? Who made you a father of somebody? What do you have to become a father? That your evil spirit. Destroying innocent lives. Every day you see this, every day you see this, every day you see this. You've never been able to change anything. Waste pipes. So listen, I'm telling you, and you who's listening to me, I'm telling you, not everybody looking at your face want you to leave. Some of them, they want to use you for their own purposes. Wise up, open your eyes. Let God be the only foundation. Don't put your trust in any man. No man of God deserves the place of God in your life. No pastor, bishop, apostle, prophet. None of us deserve a place in your life. Make God the standard. Read your Bible. Study your word and live with God. Not a man. Men, we will deceive you. We will lie to you. We are not honest. Most of us are criminals at best. Live on God. Trust in God and His word. And stop calling them Papa, Papa. They are not your father. Make God your father. And ignore these people. Ignore them. They don't have anything to offer. Wicked, evil men and women. Put your trust in God. Forget about them. I'm in the pub now. Pack your things and leave, okay? I don't know. I'm saying yesterday night, I couldn't even sleep. Yesterday night, I couldn't sleep. I'm telling you, my head was spinning. My head, Jesus. I couldn't sleep yesterday night. I'm thinking about my last conversation with Barbara. I'm thinking about my last conversation with Barbara. I'm thinking. Yes, Jesus Christ. I couldn't sleep at night. I remember clearly the last conversation I had with her, 22nd of August. About these men calling themselves with big titles. Calling themselves with big titles. Calling themselves a big title who don't care about human beings. Greed. If I don't hold my heart, if I don't hold my heart, the things I will say, if I don't hold my heart. An innocent girl just lost her life. Sylvester was in a dark place. Oh, that guy had sunk so deep, he lost it. And everything in me was trying to reach this guy. For the last 6 months, I've been calling his phone. For the last 6 months, I've been calling this guy, trying to reach him. because I was feeling there's something wrong. Something is wrong. I felt something was wrong. So when on the 22nd of August, I spoke to Barbara. I said, Barbara, my fear is this guy is going to do something very dark. That's my fear. And I want to speak to him. I want to speak to him. I want to speak to him. Because it was strong on me that he's going to do something dark. And I said, I need to speak to him. I need to speak to him. I said, Barbara, I need to speak to him before you call me and tell me that he has done something bad. Not knowing it was going to be Barbara. Not knowing I'm going to receive a call and they will say, Apostle, your friend has shot the wife. Yes, I called him friend. I used to preach for him. He's not my enemy. I called him friend. I preached for him. I stood on his pulpit and preached for him. I'm not going to deny him today because he has done this thing. No, I tried to save the situation, but he won't pick my call. I tried to talk to this man because I was sensing something dark. And so when I spoke to the wife, I said, please, how can I talk to him? How can I talk to him? I need to speak to him before I hear that he has done something very dark. And the wife says, Apostle, you can speak to Mama Vena. I said, I have spoken to Mama Vena. And Mama Vena says, for the last time I spoke to her, Mama Vena had told me for 7 weeks she had not seen Prophet Sylvester. But when she does see him, she will tell him I've been calling him. I said, please do. Even when you see him, I want to speak to him. So if he will not pick my call, I'll call you on your phone. And I want to speak. Because I knew in my spirit something wasn't right. And I said this to Barbara. I said, Barbara, your husband is dealing with something dark, but he can't talk to anybody about it. This is the time he needs to speak to somebody. He needs somebody he can trust and tell. Otherwise, he will do something terrible. He will do something terrible. And I said, Barbara, you will call me and tell me your husband has done something terrible. You will call me that Apostle. Your friend has done something terrible. I didn't know that the word I was speaking about her. My heart, that is the painful part for me. And the most painful part for me is, Nana, did you even pray enough for the girl? Did you pray enough? I didn't know who the trouble was going to happen to, but I knew the man was going to do something terrible. And it was in me. So I wanted to talk to him. I said, please, who can I speak to that can connect me to your husband? Who can I talk to? You know, and all these things are happening. All these things are happening. And all you people care about is money. It's money. How you can take advantage of people. And now that this happened, you see them, they turn their back on him like they never knew Sylvester. I know Sylvester. I knew him. I preached for him. So what? I knew him. I preached for him. I'm not going to turn my back on him. I can't do anything for him. But I can't turn my back on him. I knew him, I knew the wife. I sat down with them. We had a dinner together. When he was in a dark place, I could sense it. And I wanted to speak to him for 6 months. I've been trying to talk to this guy. I never got him on the phone. Never. Messages. He never ever picked my call. I never had the chance. I never had a chance. And that's my pain today. And those of you who are sharing the news, when they are sharing the news, then they add my picture. No, I give you permission. You can even add my videos. I'm not one of the people who turn away because people are in their dark places. So, no. Sylvester was never my enemy. I disagreed with him joining Carlton Pearson and following that crazy doctrine. I told him, I sent him long message that Sylvester, that journey is a dark journey. But you can take the horse to the riverside. You can't force the horse to drink. I'm telling you, there are people waiting for your dark day to come so they'll post it. The day your dark day will come, you see how they'll share it on Facebook. If you are wise, you learn from the downfall of others. Today, he's lost his ministry, lost his life, lost everything. I don't know how he will survive even in prison. I'm wondering what he's hearing in his ears. He's hearing the shots of the gun, bullets. I don't know what that lady said before she died. He will be hearing all these messages in his ears. I was trying everything. I'm making calls. See, I am not somebody who calls somebody twice, thrice. No, I leave you. But it was a burden on me. I call those I know who are close. I hope they will get. They say, Apostle, Mama Vena told my apostle, for 7 weeks I have not seen Prophet Sylvester. 7 weeks. He's not stepped a foot in the church. So I knew there was something wrong. I knew. I said, please, can I speak to him? I need to speak to him. I just need one phone call with this guy. I needed only one phone call with this guy. All I needed was one phone call. I couldn't get it. For 6 months. It breaks my heart that today the only friends you have in ministry is when they can get money from you. That's when they are your friends. Young preachers think. You think bringing those big men will grow your church. I'm telling you, it is the genesis of your downfall. Stop inviting them. They don't care about you. When they leave your church begins to dip. I'm telling you the truth. You keep inviting them. Keep inviting them. You think they care about you. They care about their money. They don't care about you as a person. They don't care what happens to you. They care about what happens to their pocket. When they come, all they care about is money. And even when you don't give them the money they want, it becomes a fight and they turn around to curse you secretly. Stay away from them, I'm telling you. All they care. Stop inviting them. Stop. See, if God called you, God can sustain you. Trust God for God-fearing men, not greedy men who only love money. This thing hurts me so bad. All I wanted was one phone call. Just calling this guy. Calling this guy. Hey. Mama, it was only one call I needed to. I needed to talk to this guy. And when I spoke to the wife, I told her, please, who can I talk to? Oh, Adjei Odura, a friend of mine, a prophet friend I used to preach for, shot and killed his wife yesterday. But that is not the story. The story began before the shooting. And this guy was going down. This guy, Sylvester is not from a bad home. Sylvester is from a home his 3 brothers are all in the ministry. His parents are good Christians. These guys, all senior brothers, are prophets. One is a prophet, I think, in Atlanta. I spoke to his senior brother. I said, what is happening to your brother? I've been trying to talk to him. He will not pick my call. So I hope probably if I went through the brother, I can get him to get me to him. Because I knew I needed only one phone call. All that I needed was one conversation. Only one. I don't need more. I needed only one conversation. I couldn't get it. Till yesterday, he shot his wife and killed him. Killed the wife. Killed the wife. Because this guy was in a dark place. This guy was in a dark place. Dark place. Dark place. Dark place. See, Agnes Dapa Potaki says, Atlanta and Texas. Two brothers. One is in Texas, one is in Atlanta. All of them are men of God. I spoke to them. I called one and said, Prophet, what is happening to your brother? I want to talk to him. He said, Apostle, we have tried everything. We have tried everything. He won't talk to any of us. So we just left it like that. And I started calling his number, hoping one day he'll pick my call. 6 months I called. He never picked my call. Six months. Until finally, I got Barbara on the phone on the 22nd of August, last month, just last month, 22nd of August, I got Barbara on the line, where she sent me her new phone number and said, Apostle, you can call me anytime. I said, thank you. I want to keep you in my prayers. I can't just turn my back. I knew you and Sylvester. I can't turn my back and act like I don't care. No. I can't. No. I'm not an animal. I can't. A man I've sat down to eat from in the same restaurant with his wife called me to preach in his church. I'm not going to turn my back. You must be crazy. I'm not turning my back. And so those of you who are, when you are sending the picture, you add my picture, add my videos. I'm not a traitor. I told him. I told him. I told him. I told him, the prophet. Malikiba, I don't know what led to the shooting, but I knew the man was in a dark place. I knew, see, when somebody starts dipping, he has started to listen to Bishop Carlton Pearson, following a new doctrine, the doctrine of all inclusive, that there's no God, the Bible is not the word of God, the Bible is a slave book, that they started talking about nature. He had even started reading the 6 and 7 books of Moses, reading some ancient Jewish mysticism books. I saw all of them and I started to talk to him. I said, my brother, there are certain books you don't have any business reading them. You don't have any business reading them. This Bible is too big. And all those of you out there who think subscribing to human interpretation of scriptures is the ultimate level of understanding, I feel sorry for you. So as a brother, I told him that, my brother, I've been preaching for the last 25 years. I've been in church all my life when I became born again. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of ministry. I've been around some of the people you celebrate, and I've listened to them. I've seen them. I've seen people work under them, how they suffer, how their lives are miserable. I've read books in my life. I am an inquisitive. I am an inquisitive seeker. So I love knowledge. When I saw the things he was reading, I told him as a brother. I told him as a brother, my brother, these books you are reading, I am afraid they won't help you. They are books you should be somewhere. And then you read them just to look at what other people are saying, not that you are trying to find out what I am saying. Pastor William Boateng remembers a conversation I had. I said that if this guy doesn't leave this thing, something dark is. I can sense it. I tell people I am not a prophet, but when the Lord ministers to my heart and it's burden on me, I need to do something about it, because I don't know exactly what is going to happen, but I knew something dark will happen. And I told Barbara, Barbara, living will not solve the problem. This is going to make the darkness even darker. And I am afraid you will call me and tell me something has happened. Little did I know that Barbara was going to get shot. I'm not God, but I stayed as a friend. I stayed as a friend. I tried the best I knew how. I tried though. Oh, Mama Vena is here. I know Kofi Friday will have heard from Mama Vena. I've been trying to reach Sylvester. And I was sending messages that now that you are teaching about trees, about the worship of the celestial beings, why do you still call yourself a prophet? I told him. And anybody who knows me, I'm not that person who compromises. So you can give me £1 million and I'll tell you the truth the next minute after you gave me the money. And you can take your money for all I care. Because I'm going to tell you that this is wrong. And so I didn't know whether it is because he knew my position or that I don't want to say the devil was blocking him from picking my call. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know. If I tell you I know, I don't know. But all I knew was I was feeling something dark is about to happen. And I said these clear words to Barbara. That Barbara, I pray that something is done. Help must be sought for before Sylvester does something terrible. And you will call me and tell me, Apostle, Sylvester has done something terrible. I pray that day will not come. I didn't know Barbara was about to go. I can show you the last conversation I had with her on Messenger where she sent me her number. And I told her I'll call her. And she said, Apostle, you can call me anytime. Anytime. Young man, let God be the foundation. Oh. Let God be your foundation. Stop trusting in all these men. Most of them went to Sylvester's church. Most of them, now they are all hiding their identity. Because now Sylvester is in the bad books of life. That he has killed his wife. So now everybody who knew him is now turning their back. That they never knew him. But that guy gave you money. You took a lot of money from him. You went to his church and you milked them with your fake prophecies. You went to his church and you milked the guy's church, milked his church members, took their money with your fake prophecies, which never came to pass. I was there. I was told. You went there, took their money with your fake prophecies, which never comes to pass. Because it's never from God. God never spoke to you. God doesn't even care about you. You've never even been on God's agenda. My advice for you. It's very, very simple. My advice for you. It's very, very simple. My advice for you is very, very simple. Seek God. Make God your foundation. When something goes wrong, all the people you thought were with you will turn their back so bad on you, you'll never forget. Once it goes bad for you, I'm telling you. I'm seeing some comments on Facebook. 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 I'm watching. I'm saying, hey, human beings are wicked. Okay. Me, I know. See what I'm saying. Nobody told me anything. No. I'm telling you. Brenda blesses. She goes to that church. See, I was there. I remember the first time I went there. When I finished preaching, they were like, I see somebody is told you something about this church. I said, me, when I'm going to preach in the church, I don't even watch messages. I don't even watch videos they have done. I don't want to know anything. All I want to know is what God is telling me. And I go and I preach and I get out. Because I'm not trying to make money. So I say what I have to say. I say it as hard as I have to say it. It's not about money. If God can't bless me, nobody can bless me. Brenda, there's nothing like covering. No, those people even don't have a covering on themselves. How can they cover you? They can't cover you. They themselves, they are not covered. They are not even covered. Wait till something happens to you. You will know whether they are with you or not with you. Wait till something happens. What is covering? Who is covering who? Who is covering who? I said, let God be your source. I'm telling you. Me, this one I've been telling people for a very long time. I have seen so many things in this thing called ministry. Me, I said this to everyone. Had it not been for my wife, I would have left ministry. Me, preaching is not my passion now. I'm a man say, God bless you for joining me. I said those who were in the church knew what I came to do. Me, I live for the truth, not for money. If it is for money, I'm telling you, I know what to say to make money. I have never lived my life for money. Truth. Hey, whether you bless me or don't bless me, God has already blessed me from translating me from darkness into his marvelous light. It's enough blessing. It is enough. Where I am today, it is enough blessing. I'm not looking for anything. What God has done for me, it is enough. He has tried. So the rest of my life, I'm telling the hard truth. And those who don't like me, it's their own business. I don't even like them in the first place. You went there, you went to that church and made a mess of that young man's ministry. You made a mess of that young man's ministry and his life. You never helped him. You never helped him. But today, you see the comments they are writing on social media, acting like they are angels from hell. Nonsense. See, I am not a traditional preacher. I don't follow your protocol rules. I don't do all those things. I don't do all those things. I call a spade, not a digging implement. I am not diplomatic. I don't do politics. I am not diplomatic. That's why the people I don't like are even pastors. They are not my friends. I don't care about them. Oh, Amma, God has tried for me. Where God has brought me, it is enough. Me, God has tried for me. That's why I speak the truth. Brenda, God bless you. At least I have genuine witnesses who saw me come to Orlando. If I'm lying, they are here. They were in the services. I don't preach for money. Oh my! You don't know. Ask those who know me. Me, money has never been my issue. It's not because I don't have it. I don't have money. My wife tells me I'm rich. I say, yes, I know in the space, but I don't have that money in my pocket. But I will never compromise my stand on the gospel. For me, this book Bible is the word of God. This is the word of God. I don't compromise. I don't debate it. I don't even have time to debate the Bible. You don't believe, it's your own problem. I believe. Leave it for me. But those who say they preach this Bible and can't leave it. God has tried though. God has tried for me, pal, where I'm coming from. By the age of 19, I was an orphan. My father has died. My mother has died. I'm a very poor orphan. Where God has brought me today, that I have a wife and children. What else should I say? Lie for what? How much? How much can you pay me that I'll retire? That I should lie to you. How much are you going to pay me for me to retire? That I will never work in my life again. Based on your lie, that I'll stop. See, if I preach the truth and I go hungry, I'll be going. Malik, I don't know why pastors have decided that riches is what becomes a ministry. I don't know where they get that doctrine from, but for me, Christianity is not a place of making money. Christianity is a place of saving lives. If God blesses you, whichever way he blesses you, you must be content and happy with what God has done for you. The greatest joy of the preacher should be the saving of souls, translating them from darkness into his marvelous light. It's not the car you drive. It's not the house you live in. It's not how many countries you have visited. Are you a tourist or a preacher? That is not the gospel. But today, we have materialized and commoditized the gospel. That the bigger your car, the bigger your house, the fatter your bank account, that make you a minister. That is why these young preachers who don't have brains in their head think that following these men will make them popular. If Jesus can't make me popular, you can go to hell with your popularity. If Jesus can't, the one who made the whole world, if he cannot introduce me to the world, why should I want to worry? If Jesus doesn't think it is fit for me to go to all the world, why should I worry? Why am I the one who died on the cross? If Jesus wants to take me to the ends of the world, he can do it. If he decided not to take me, I will stay where I am. I don't have to kill myself. If Jesus wants to make me popular, he knows what to do. If it is, Nana, stay in your little corner is all I have for you. So be it. God, I am content. I live with my wife and my children. I cannot save the world. But we want it at all cost. We want it at all cost. Because if I'm not living in a plush area, if I am not living and driving in a fancy car, if I don't have big bank account, if I don't have dollar, pound, euro, yen account, I'm not a rich man, I'm not a big papa. And you see these small boys who don't have life, who say God has called them, want to identify with big men, not a big God. They want to identify with big men, not a big God. So they will move heaven and hell and the headquarters of hell to become relevant. Me, God has tried for me. I eat. I have a place to lay my head. It's okay. I have clothes to wear. If God decides he wants to give me more, praise the Lord. But I won't kill a fly for a pound. No, never. If God won't bless me, he should stop. And not force. And therefore, it's not by force. It's not by force I need to drive a big car. It's not by force. If I can't afford it, I live my life. I am not going to tell you a lie that I enter into the restaurant, I see the Lord. Nonsense. If I was not going to pay you, will you see? If I was not going to pay you, will you see all the things you are seeing? You see? Now Barbara is dead. And some of you are writing nonsense. Will he find faith when he comes on the earth? Not a car. Will God find faith when he comes back to earth? Not a house. Not a big fat bank account. Not a great prophet. Today, you find immoral preachers. You know, what Reverend Henrietta is writing. She goes to a place to preach, and those people don't have even sense to ask which anointings are you. They are asking which car did you come with. I flew in the air. I jumped through the air. I landed on the back of a bed. We are immoral people. I'm a Canada. It's true. They can always see in the realms of the spirit. They cannot see in the realms of their own life how filthy they are, how criminal-minded they are. They can see in the heavens. They can't see in their own ugly life. When they are taking money from you, they can see in the realms of the spirit. And when you disagree with them, they say, I'll curse you. You curse who? May curse come on your own children. Beifoba, Anyay. They can see in the realms of the spirit, but they can't see their sinful, wicked lifestyle. They can see everything. They can see angels. They can see demons. They can see evil spirits with horns and teeth and jacksaws, but they can't see their own wicked ways. They can't see it. But that is what you people do you like. You have itchy ears. You want them to see something for you. They will see for you too. They will see for you. They will see. You want to see. They will see for you. They will see for you. You want to see. They will see for you, and you will see how the seeing will see you. Again, is it force? And I see this, and I see this, and I see this. But they can't see their own evil lifestyle. They can't see it. They can't see that they are corrupt. They can't see it. All the money they have, God never showed them there are poor people around they should help. That one, God never shows them. They can see angels flying. They can't see poor people walking. They can't see it. And when you disagree with them, their weapon is, I'll curse you. You have touched the man of God. I have touched the man of the devil. Utriso. You are a man of God. Which God? Which God? Which God are you talking about? You can see in an unseen realm. Yet, the poverty around you, the people who are suffering, people who are mentally in bondage, people who are struggling. I said, Sylvester was in a dark place. I'm telling you, God is my witness. I spoke to Barbara on the 22nd of August, and I told Barbara, your husband is somewhere deep. But I pray that you don't call me and tell me that he has done some evil thing. Little did I know that it was going to be Barbara. You see, Godson Ngoni Manuel said she was there when I came to preach in Orlando. She was there. See, Coffee Friday, the church will not die. Hold the church. God has to do a new thing. But let the vampires stay in the vampire covens. We kid people. We kid people. Where were you when Sylvester needed you? People don't know. When God is asking of the blood of Barbara, most of you, God will ask you of her blood. Because you are part of the problem, not the solution. Now, Nyama people. People sending me message. You see the message that will inbox you. You will like me. You don't know. I'm sick and tired of these men who are parading themselves as men of God, where even Satan doesn't know them. Even Satan has rejected them. I see in the realms of the spirit. I see in the realms of the spirit. Which spirit are you seeing in? Emia. Telling you. Coffee Friday, fight the good fight. And any day I come to America, I'll visit you. Oh, I've sat down to eat with them, the husband and the wife. We were ministry friends. I've preached in their church 10 times, 2 programs of 5 days of preaching. You can go to Facebook, look for the messages. I went there, I preached my heart out. I preached like he was my own biological brother. And it's not about money. Oh. I'm telling you, yeah, the gospel of Jesus Christ cannot be hidden. But those of you, how much did you wanted to help the man who you took money from, manipulated his church members and took money from them? Did you have a heart for the man? Did you? Did you ever love him? Or you love the beautiful work he had done? Oh man, that guy, Sylvester, had a beautiful church. But the Bible says evil communication corrupt good manners. You have to be very careful the people you surround yourself with. I'm telling people, see, you are seeing somebody who is dead. Oh. Nobody knows the time and the hour. Nobody knows how anybody will die. Peter was crucified upside down. James was beheaded. Isaiah was sawn into two. Paul was beheaded. Every one of us will die. How? None of us know. Some of you who are watching me, a car will crash you. All die be die. All die be die. Each one of us will die. My issue is not death. My issue is how I die. What preparation have I made to die? Me, Mensa. No, me, I'm not a traitor. I sat down in a Thai restaurant, me and Sylvester and Barbara and Mama Vena and Mom Annie Mary. We sat down and ate. You think I'm going to say I don't know the man? I know the man. I know the man. The man found himself in a dark place. But there's nobody. Sometimes, don't think for other people. Don't think everybody's as strong as you are. Don't think that because you want to do it. See, nobody sits down and says, one day I'm going to do evil. People handle situations differently. People handle situations differently. People handle situations differently. I don't make stupid comments about issues I don't know what I will do when I find myself in. I'm telling you, there are people I have served who did me evil. I could have mentioned their names on Facebook and blast them. I never do. I never mention that man's name. Never. Anything I do, I will not mention his name. I leave it in the hands of God. In the same way, a man who has ever opened his door for me to enter into his house, I will never turn my back on him. I tried every possible thing I know to reach Prophet Sylvester. I tried the best I know. And from where I sit in the UK. I can't fly. I'm not a wizard. I can't fly into his house in Florida. I tried 6 months of telephone calls. I tried 6 months of telephone call. I called his brother, the prophet. I'll not mention that which one's name. I called his brother, the prophet. I said, Prophet, you may not have met me in person, but I know you saw me preaching for your brother. What is happening? I'm trying to understand I'm trying to call him. He won't pick my call. When are we going to have a heart after the heart of God? When are we going to be Christians for once? For once. Yes, what has happened is happened. I know both of them. I know the man, I know the woman who is dead. I knew them. I knew them. We sat down to eat together. So those of you who thought sharing the report and my pictures will change my position, never. I just came to disappoint you. Keep sharing. Next time, share my video. I preach for him. And I don't regret doing it. I blessed souls in that life. I blessed souls in that church. I blessed people's minds in that place. I remember vividly a lady, the first time I went, I prayed for deliverance. I prayed for deliverance. And this lady looked like a tomboy. I prayed for deliverance. I went back the second time. The lady was wearing a Brazilian hair. I couldn't identify her until she got closer to me. I said, thank you, Jesus. If for only this lady I came to this church, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. I'm not greedy. Oh, if Nana Adjei was greedy by now I should have money. I remember vividly, a lady came in the church after the service. He went to see Prophet Sylvester. As a prophet, I believe this man is a man of God. I want to sow a seed in his life. The next day I came to the office, the lady put $1,000 envelope in my hands. I prayed for her and I gave the envelope to Prophet Sylvester. I said, Prophet, this is your church member. I just prayed for her. She sowed a seed in me, but it is in your church. Take the seed. I didn't come for money. I'll tell you, there's nothing I can do. Hey, I tried everything to reach. I know both of them. This is a painful moment. I know Barbara. I know Sylvester. Everybody has a problem. I saw the darkness. I spoke to Barbara. I said, Barbara, I need to reach him. I need to get to him because I fear something bad is going to happen. But I need to talk. I want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. Enrique, I'm doing well. Enrique, I'm doing well. Enrique is on. He's a young man who was taking me pictures. He took over 1,000 pictures of me doing the service in that church. I said I needed only, that was the last conversation. That's the last conversation I had with Barbara on the 22nd of August, last month. And I said, Barbara, he said, call. He gave me a number. He said, call this number. You will reach the secretary and you can talk to him. I wanted to speak to him because I saw something bad was coming. I said, I need to speak. I need only one phone call. See, ministry is a very long journey. It can be a very dark journey. Don't think you have reached the end yet. Today you are talking about somebody. Tomorrow it can be you. No, so you are seeing somebody's dark day today. It can be you tomorrow. Don't think you are too strong. Tomorrow it can be you. And yours might be worse. Hey. We've all been in dark places, so it took grace to bring us out. I was trying. It saddens my heart that we have to talk about this today. But our prayers is, may her soul find rest in God. It's happened. We can't turn the hand of time back. But in the same way, I will not deny a family I sat down to eat with. I won't deny it. I don't care how bad it looks. Both of them were friends to me. Barbara and Sylvester, Barbara and Sylvester, Sylvester's like a younger brother to me. Barbara's like a little sister to me. I sat down, we spoke ministry. I'm not a businessman. Okay, yeah, people don't. I'm saying something to you. All the things I'm saying, if I'm lying, Kofi Friday is on the platform. He is one of the closest people to the prophet. He is one of the closest people to Sylvester. He knew all the men who had ever passed through the church. He saw all the antics, the theaters, the scandalous things they did. He's a man of God. All these people who were sowing bad seed, they all used this man. They used Sylvester. They took advantage of Sylvester, used him, took money. I'm telling you. Because I remember vividly after I preached for him, Sylvester told me, Apostle, you have never been to my church before, but everything you said here today is like somebody from my church is talking to you. Go and look for the videos and watch them. They went there. It was looting and sharing. They didn't go to build the young man's church. They went there, they saw the beauty, and they saw a green ground. They went there to contaminate the church. And after they left, the church started going down. He had built a beautiful church in a short time. I don't care what you say. It's your own problem, not mine. He did the best he knew how. But where were those who benefited from him? That's my problem. That's what I'm telling you, young people out there. You ministers, you think when you bring a big name, your church will explode. Your church will implode. Tell you. Most of these people carry bad spirits. They don't have God's spirit in them. I'm telling you the truth. Most of them, when you bring them to your church will implode. When you bring them, you think it is about a name. It's about God. So about somebody you say have a big name. I don't know anybody who has a big name. How big is your name? Is your name bigger than God? What name do you have? Your name is big to you. And those who think you are big. For me, you are a human being. You are not big. You can never be big. That is a big man of God. Nonsense. How did you become a big man of God? You are either a man of God or you are not a man of God. Take that nonsense big away. Because you are not big in the eyes of God. You nobody. Listen. So please, next time when you are sharing the story, add my picture because you started doing it. Share it. I am not ashamed to be identified with Sylvester and Barbara. What has happened has happened. If you had showed a little concern, like you took his money, we would not have been here talking about this. Shameless animals. For all those of you out there who only remember people when they do good to you, and you turn your back on them when it doesn't go your way, shame on you too. And to you who's listening to me, learn from this. Men's hearts are desperately wicked. Who can know? Coffee Fridays on the platform. He knew all the theater, all these people came there, came to do, made a mess. Made a mess of somebody's beautiful church. And now they're going about talking rubbish. Like they went there to do something good. Nonsense people. Listen, pastors out there, enjoy your little life, because when you get into your dark days, these same people you are killing yourself for will leave you alone to die on your own. Me. That's why I don't put anything above my wife. See, the only thing above my family is God, not church. The only thing above my head is God. I saw Coffee Fridays here. Me, if I'm lying, I don't know the church. The first time Sylvester saw me in human life was the first day I stepped to preach for him. All the days I spent in Florida, we never met one-on-one. The only time he saw me was when they had brought me from my hotel to come and preach. We never had any conversation about how the church was doing, but the Lord was ministering as if I'm in the church. And when things were going dark, I tried my best to call him. I tried as a brother to call him and tell him, man of God, don't destroy the beautiful thing God is giving to you. What you are following now will destroy you. It will not build you. It will destroy you. I sent him long messages, text messages, calling, text messages, calling, but he did not respond. My heart is heavy. I went to bed yesterday night late. By 2:30 a.m., my eyes were open. I couldn't sleep. I was just lying there. Because of that, today, the whole day, I couldn't go to work because I had no appetite to go and work. So I stayed home. I've been home the whole day. Just with my wife. My only human confidant, one I trust that she will not leave me in a bad way. She will not, if everybody turns their back on me, as long as I'm not misbehaving, she will stay with me. I was with my wife the whole day because I've been heavy the whole day. I've been heavy the whole day. I said Kofi Friday is here. He's saying they knew he was a young pastor and took advantage of him. All these people, they are shameless human beings, you know. I am monitoring them. When I hear one nonsense statement they make, I'll come out and blast them, mention their names. Vampires. Branda, I'm telling you, it is these same people who corrupted Sylvester's church. They didn't help the young man. They came to corrupt his church. And now, after they made money from him, they turned their back on him. They turned their back on him. I can't turn my back on him. Whatever he has done, it was a dark period. It's painful, but what else can I do? You think I'm going to sit here and turn my back on him and bash him? No, it can be me. You think you're above anything, but God will ask you when you went there. God will ask you when you went to that church, what did you do? When you went there, what did you do? You went there and destroyed what the young man was doing, destroyed his faith, destroyed his confidence in God. Because when he saw, he thought you were senior men of God. No, you were senior criminals. You took advantage of his innocence and corrupted him, robbed him, and he got wounded in the process. Instead of being built, your presence made his faith shake. God will ask you. Judgment is waiting for all of us. Whatever we have done is waiting for us. You young men, learn lessons. I'm not young. I mean, very soon, I won't tell you my age, but very soon, I'll be very old. But by the grace of God, I've taken good care of myself, stayed away from vampires. I don't want their recognition. I don't need anything from them. I don't even want to be their friends because I don't trust their spirit. I don't trust their spirit because they don't have the God kind of spirit. Sorcerers and necromancers. People of God, I'm advising you as your brother. I can be your son. I can be the age of your husband. I'm only advising you. Let God be the center of your life. And forget these devils. That's what I'm telling you. Now they are pointing fingers at Sylvester as if they are not part of the problem. What help did you give to him? You went to his church and corrupted a beautiful church a young man was building. A young man who was growing in the faith. Instead of having strong hands to hold him, he had strong hands to punch him down and kill him and destroy the last confidence. Me, God has been my strong shield. Though. That's why I'm this stubborn. My faith has always been in God. I don't care what they call you. You can be a man. They call you all the titles. When you misbehave, I'll give it to you in your face. And you can't do nothing. All that your stupid curses will come on your own children. And your yet children unborn. Those curses you want to put on me will come on your own children. Your children will misbehave. They will die prematurely because you wanted me to die. It will come on them. I told you the truth and you say you will kill me. It will come on your own generation, even yet unborn. My problem is to live right. That's my problem. And nothing you do will work. And even if you succeed to kill me today, you will come tomorrow. None of us will turn into a stone. Stop talking nonsense out there. You think God has left you off the hook because yours is not out? Foolish people. People of God, God bless you. I'm very angry. I'm wounded. I'm hurt. It's painful. But I'm disgusted about people out there who took advantage of this young man, corrupted his ministry, and now talking rubbish. Barbara, may your soul rest in peace. And I pray for strength for Sylvester, that he will come back to himself. It doesn't matter where you go. End of the day, when God finds you and you find God again. You see, young men out there, watch out to be very careful. Be very careful. The journey of ministry is a long journey. You look at my face like that. I'm not young. Oh. I've lived some days. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've seen people. I've known evil people. I'm very careful. So please, live circumspectly as wise, not as fools, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Trust God and Him only. Make them a two-fold. Opa tie, opa don't tie. Me, I've told you the truth. The Bible says, son of man, I've told you what is good. It's up to you to do. Me, Sylvester, and his wife, they are both my friends, dead or alive. I knew them. I sat down and ate with the family. I'm not turning my back. That is why I have tried to reach them. I spoke to Barbara on the 22nd of last month. We spoke like 2 hours on the phone. We spoke. We laughed. I encouraged and prayed for the strength of God. I didn't know because I'm not God. Even though I said something bad is happening, I didn't know it was going to be Barbara. I'm telling you honestly, I said to Barbara, Barbara, I pray that your husband doesn't do anything bad to himself. I thought he was going to hurt himself. I thought he was going to take his own life. I feared for him. So I wanted to reach him, but I couldn't. And it happens, Barbara is not with us. Because a man was in a dark place. I would never know what was going through the head of Prophet Sylvester. I will never be able to know. None of us can know. So stop your speculations. You don't know the full story. So just shut up. You don't know I don't know the full story. I can only speculate. What is the point of speculating when I don't even know what happened? I can only say what I think. But to make it look bad, I can't. It's already bad. Let's pray for them. Let's pray for the rest of the people out there who are being corrupted on a daily basis by people who come with holding King James Bibles but are devils in human flesh. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And may God grant Sylvester the strength to realize that this is not the end of his life. Whatever happens, may God's name be glorified. God bless you all. And let's keep both families in prayers. Even though Barbara is not with us anymore, Sylvester is also not with the family anymore. These two families will never be the same again. They will need our prayers. They will need our heart, not our criticisms. These families, both families have lost their children. Both families have lost young children, young adults. Both families.